Yeah, we're gonna skip that intro. You know why.
I think it's safe to say, at least for the time being, that Xbox is back, and that should be a good thing to everybody that hears the message. I know there's going to be a lot of fanboys that think, well, that's not a good thing, but on the other hand, you have to realize just how
Yay, Xbox is back. No, like, sincerely, I'm actually happy Forza Horizon 5 is doing really well. I'm actually excited for Halo Infinite. I know, that PlayStation gamer is actually kind of excited for Xbox. But, I do want to say, Sony, what the hell was this year? We'll get into that a little bit later.
good competition is and how much better things will be for everybody with strong competition between Xbox and PlayStation. This makes a lot of sense.
Wow, I actually agree with Crapgamer on something. But why do I got a feeling he's gonna give Microsoft just a little bit too much praise for finally having some great games coming out? But we'll get to that.
Now, what about for the long term? Well, that remains to be seen, but at least for right now, Microsoft is celebrating a couple of big wins, and I think gamers everywhere should celebrate that as well. It was a long time.
Good God, I actually have to point this out. The music he has in the background sounds like some painful stock music, like something that I legit would have access to in Share Factory. But yeah, it just I don't understand why some people do this, where they put music in the background while they record their videos, because it's just distracting to me. Just saying.
Time in coming. This is going to be a topic and a video you don't want to miss. Hey there,
Good God, I actually had to cut out the second intro that he's very famous for. Basically, just like, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, well, crap, according to your dislike ratio, I don't think a lot of people are liking what they're hearing.
the topic of console wars is a fun one. I love it. I love console wars. I think it's a fun thing to talk about. I think it's kind of funny the way that people get really riled up over these things. At the end of the day,
Of course he likes the console wars, because that's how anyone actually knows about his YouTube channel. I actually remember long time ago, before he actually was known for the console war shit, stumbled upon a review he did for the Futurama game, and good lord, it was so painfully generic. I actually want to fucking, let's just say, there was options available to me.
most of the time I'm just having fun with it while I play Xbox and PlayStation. Right now, if you were to ask me my current split, it would be 60% gaming on PS5, 40% on Xbox Series X, and that does include like PlayStation VR in terms of the PlayStation side of things, which I do, at least a couple times a week. Now, when it comes to something like popularity and things like that, PlayStation is always going to be unrivaled. And the reason it's going to be unrivaled is just because it's such a smash success worldwide in places where Xbox pretty much doesn't have any kind of foothold whatsoever.
I love how he tries to do this whole thing where he's like, oh, I play all the consoles, and then he's like, yeah, but Xbox isn't popular in other countries. God damn it, this is something fucking PlayStation ponies do as well as Crapgamer. Bringing up fucking Japan. Yeah, Xbox doesn't sell super well in Japan in console sales, but guess what? Neither does freaking PlayStation. And PlayStation sales, as far as like the big AAA games in Japan, are actually lower than they are in America. So, just for the record.
With that being said, I do think that this is very interesting because Game Informer, they ran a poll on Twitter, and while this isn't anything official, it was just interesting that the question was, which platform is having the best 2021? And Xbox won with 48.9% of the vote. Now,
How is this a W for Xbox? Oh wow, 48% of people think Xbox is doing better. And it isn't because, they just had a game come out, and like that's a possibility that might have been, a little bit leaning in towards their favor. Just saying, why is this a big deal? It's a poll that anyone could click on. Hell, people might have been clicking on Xbox just to troll PlayStation ponies. I mean, ponies have been kind of nuclear as far as their stupidity goes. So you know what? Don't blame them.
what's interesting in here that maybe could possibly be looked at as a way to construe some of this stuff is it was retweeted by Tim Dog, who has almost 50,000 followers. So the fact that this thing has not even 40.
Oh boy, Tim Dog, that other fucking corporate shill that just makes my mind fucking boggle.
1,000 votes. You could look at it that way, but let's just for the sake of this say, hey, Xbox is back. Congratulations. I would just like to say for me personally, when I'm looking at this and say who's having the best 2021, you would possibly say Microsoft is having the best November and December, but at the end of the day, they haven't won an MPD.
Of course he brings up MPD, because all these fucking fanboys always bring up MPD. Nintendo fanboys, Sony fanboys, I don't think Xbox fanboys bring it up, but that's because they're smart enough to realize, you know what, it doesn't matter. Why do we care how many consoles sold? I just want to play games. When did this shit become like we have to keep track of all the stats? On Friday, everyone farted on at 7 p.m. on Xbox Live, so that means Xbox had the most farts on 7 p.m. that Friday. What's this fucking mean? This means nothing!
You know, I don't think pretty clearly, even though Forza Horizon 4 came up with some fantastic numbers, it's not going to be, you know, the number one NPD game or anything like that.
Yeah, I got a feeling this might say different.
But, you know, PlayStation had a really good beginning of the year, and I think Switch had a decent year across everything, but we'll have to see.
So yeah, this is where I'm going to sound a little weird here, but I don't think Sony had that good of a year. I think they had a okay year. I mean, there were some games that came out were pretty damn cool, but it's like, let's not pretend these are like 91 Metacritic score games. And much as I don't like, mentioning Metacritic, let's be fair here, a lot of fucking fanboys bring up Metacritic because they want to use that as fuel. Well, I'm just going to say it. Microsoft had the better end of the year. Now, do I think Microsoft had a better year overall? Kind of hard to say. I think they were kind of like in Sony in a certain way, where they didn't really have anything that noteworthy outside of Psychonauts 2, and even then, Psychonauts 2 really wasn't even an exclusive, so it's like, can you really count this in this whole console war BS talk? As far as Nintendo goes, Nintendo does whatever the hell they want. Like, personally, I don't pay attention when it comes to Nintendo, because wow, they have like one game that comes out this year. I'm like, yeah, and everything else they did this year was kind of questionable, but that's my personal take. So I don't think Sony had a great year. I don't even think they had a good year. I think they had an okay year. I think they got away with way more than they should have by porting games over to PC. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on the whole year in general for PlayStation. Not the worst, not the best, just in the middle, like most years.
How that kind of works out, how that plans out, and how that really affects people in general. But with that being said, I did want to talk about this because it is worth. I wanted to say a congratulations about this as Forza Horizon 5 breaks 4.5 million player milestone, largest Xbox Game Studios launch day ever.
Yeah, I like to say that too. Congratulations to Forza Horizon 5. It kind of put Xbox out of this rut, and it's nice to see a racing game get a lot of, I guess you would say attention, and it's nice. But I'm also one of these people, and yeah, again, this might sound a little ponyish, but it's a racing game, and they're not personally my take, but I can understand from a certain point of view, why, this is a W, because, like, for so many years, Xbox just kind of, was just kind of sitting there with nothing, and now they finally have something that's actually pretty damn good. I've even said in a previous video that if I was into racing games, like Forza would be the one I go to, because it's more of that arcadey, open world style, which is very fun for someone like me who likes off-road racing. Personally, I would prefer a off-road racing type of game, but, you work with what you have in the world, right?
Forza Horizon 5, the new iteration of Playground Games' open world racing series, is off to a fantastic start.
So I'm going to skip a little ahead, mostly because he just seems to read off this article, and I don't want to sit here and spend like 20 fucking minutes, editing, little clips and bits here, because quite freaking frankly, a lot of his videos are just reading articles, saying how he feels about it, and just, yeah, that's not good content in my opinion.
On Steam, Forza Horizon 5 only managed to hit a peak of 70,000 concurrent players so far, but the lion's share of the player base is clearly within the Xbox ecosystem through Game Pass, available on console and PC.
Yeah, and I'm gonna assume that's the case with most people. If they're subscribed to Game Pass, they're more likely playing it through Game Pass on PC and Xbox. And yeah, it's a good thing. Now people who don't have to spend like $80 buying a game that they're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to. So I think that's where Game Pass actually has a lot of really good value is that it allows you to try out these games. And if you're about to lose your subscription, you're like, maybe I just buy this game instead of, just keeping my Game Pass around. Just say, I'm pretty sure at least one person in the world stopped that.
It's not just fans who are going crazy about Playground's latest work either, as Forza Horizon 5 is currently the highest rated new release of the year on Metacritic, sitting at an average of 91 out of 100 and 92 out of 100 for Xbox Series X. According to this, Forza Horizon 5 has received heaps of praise for its accessibility options. These dedicated features designed specifically with the help of disability community include American Sign Language, British Sign Language, support for cinematics at game speed modification, setting that allows gamers to play at a reduced rate, customizable subtitle options, high contrast mode, color blindness mode, text to speech, and speech to text options. So a lot of cool stuff going on.
I mean, that's really cool. I am actually glad people who live with certain disabilities actually have a chance to play these awesome games. Last of Us Part 2 did it, freaking Forza's doing it. I'm assuming this is going to be something down the road because it's nice to see people with disabilities actually being welcomed into the gaming community instead of being told, oh, well, you have seizures, you have epilepsy, well, guess what, you can't play this. Or, hey, you were born with a disfigured arm, you can't play this game because it requires a controller and you can't hold a controller. It's nice to actually see the game industry start being more welcoming instead of, oh, you're screwed if you don't have, perfect everything.
On there, I do want to say congratulations. No hyperbole involved there. I do think that well deserved. Like I said, I feel like Forza Horizon 5 is the game that people should be excited about. I also kind of wanted to point out that this kind of makes me right in a way about exactly what I was saying. And not to turn this, I'm seriously not going to turn this into like a fanboy thing, but I'm just pointing out that this is the difference and the reaction is different when they drop a true huge AAA title into Game Pass versus these smaller titles that people were pretending are AAA, right?
And there's where I have the problem. Crapgamer, for whatever reason, is one of these triple-minded only type people. I doubt he's played many indie games this year. I doubt he actually will try them on Game Pass, where he's essentially getting them for free when you think about it. And yeah, that's something that bugs me because I've seen indie games become really good. Games like Seafood, games like Kenna Bridge of Spirits, the day before, freaking Little Devil Inside. I like those type of games. I'm starting to get into these indie games more, and not just those games, but there's a game I've been playing. It's an indie classic known as Undertale, and yeah, I can safely say some of these games actually rival some of these big AAA video games. Like, seriously, how many fucking Call of Duties do you have to play? How many? Who the hell's still playing Avengers? Like, seriously, I'd rather play freaking Kenna Bridge of Spirits 20 times over than play one session of freaking Avengers.
All this time where I say, stop giving me Gears Tactics and Flight Simulator as reasons to own Xbox. Like, they're not. I'm sorry. Forza Horizon 5, for sure. Okay? You guys can see the difference. They come out, make announcements, 4.5 million players. You had 1 million people paying for this game in advance. That's huge, right? No announcement of players on Tactics. No announcement of players on Flight Sim. Honestly, those are just like fodder. And I'm not saying it.
And that's kind of the problem with your mindset there, Crap. You're only about the big budgets. You're only about the big games. Ones that look like, oh my god, this is pushing the console to its limit. Oh my god, this is gonna give me such a little boner. Like, Crap, there are some of these fucking smaller games are excellent. I've actually played Gears Tactics, and I thought Gears Tactics was surprisingly fun. And, well, yeah, I'm one of those people who make fun of Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you're in the simulating type games, I've actually heard a lot of good things about it. Like, this is the best flight simulator they've had in years. And, that's a good thing. I just, Why is it that you only focus on the big games? Like, yeah, you're right. These are fodder, but you can get excited for fodder too. You can get excited for filler games. What's wrong with getting excited for something that's different or something that's a little smaller budget or something that's not, a big AAA video game?
They're bad fodder. I'm just saying that those aren't games that people get excited about in mass quantities. And that's just a fact. We can see the reaction difference.
Of course he brings this up. Because people are more excited. Excited. Well, crap. I'm more excited for Sifu than I am GT Sport. Does that mean I am not a gamer? Does that mean I'm not, this super awesome, gamer? It's like I'll just play games. If I see a game I want to play, I play it. I don't care if it's small, big, whatever. But of course, someone like you has to sit there and like nitpick every little thing. So I'm gonna end the video here, guys, because honestly, this stuff it's just it's close-minded. It's this attitude of only the big games matter. It's like Jesus Christ. I don't like that attitude. I've always thought that games should be appreciated and regarded. You should at least try something that at least catches your interest instead of just worrying about the budget or worry about the piece of plastic it's on. Just play games. That's all I gotta say. Just play games. This is that PlayStation Gamer signing out. Y'all have a good day now. Peace.